It's now official that Uganda loses up to 26 billion shillings annually in bank fraud, but a bulk of the cases go unreported. The judiciary is, however, now insisting that financial sector players need to come out to support the legal effort against such fraud cases to deter future offenders. But that's a story for another day. Welcome to Money Matters. Coming up on the show, the new BRICS Development Bank and whether it offers options alongside the Bretton Woods institutions, making money through franchising, and the story of a master's degree holder who has left it all for agriculture. In terms of entrepreneurship, many look at the Karamoja sub-region as one of the worst performing regions in the country. This, however, is disputed by entrepreneurship gurus who believe that with more exposure, the region is aggressively emerging out of a slump on the path to moving with the rest of the country. Charles Ochichi is the Executive Director, Enterprise Uganda.
As an institution, Enterprise Uganda found entering Karamoja region as one of its most telling and dramatic experience. When we stepped into the region and said, we want to come and teach you how to make money and get jobs. The one response which was consistent across the population was, nobody in Karamoja is unemployed. They said, all of us are employed. We're wondering when you come here saying, you want to come and teach us to make income and get jobs. It's not the message we are looking for. If you've come to give us some donations, we are more than happy. So we went to a region where we discovered that even the language that we use and accept in the rest of the country called Uganda is totally different in the Karamoja region. To them, when somebody wakes up in the morning and tends to his cattle, his goats, he's working. He has a job. He's not idle. We then went back and said, what is the language we are missing out here? We need to reconstruct our approach to the region. So yes, we went back to the drawing board and went with a new message telling the Karamojong that, you know what, Karamojong, you have got citizens from this region that have gone beyond Karamoja and they are making a lot of money and they are reasonably well established and rich. So we talked about a man called Kodet. Kodet is well respected as an entrepreneur across the country. When we mentioned him, they said, yes, so tell us more. You mean we can also be like Kodet? We know him, he's part of us. But you mean we can also be like that? We said, yes. The next thing was, will they come to the training room and listen to such a message for 1 hour, for a full day, then later for 5 days? The community leaders were the first to dismiss it, and they said, Enterprise Uganda, you'll be lucky if they come. And should they come on day one, they may be polite to you and allow you to take them through a meal, but the next day, if you get them back, good luck. We got these people to sign up. By the time we went in to start the training, the sign-up was close to 1,000. We do day one. We reach lunchtime. We are getting pressure from people who missed to sign up but had been informed by those who had gone in for the training saying, please come with your 5,000 and attend this training.
What kind of model did you use or deploy to reach out to these people? Because several attempts have been made by a number of organizations, including government actually.
Yes.
And they've not yielded that much.
Many people have tended to go to Karamoja with a wallet of money, with the trucks of goods for people to eat, consumerism, promoting support for consumerism. Give them a mosquito net, give them some clothes, distribute some clothes. Idi Amin even said, you don't even have to spend money. I'm coming to give you a shirt and a trouser, but your role is to put it on. Then you distribute. That is what many people use, and they miss the point about a Karamojong person. And if you want to appreciate that a Karamojong is like any other human being, Many people from the Karamoja region are involved in national leadership activities, are involved in business, and they have gone into careers of reputable levels. So a Karamojong needs to be approached from their point of view of where they are coming from. And when Enterprise Uganda went, we did not tell them that, you know what, you need to abandon cattle. We didn't tell them to abandon sheep. We didn't tell them to abandon honey or even the shea nut butter. We simply said, the sheep, the mutton, the beef you are currently having, if only you appreciated that keeping a cow up to 5 years is the maximum economic age bracket you can have that cow putting on weight. Beyond that, you are having a cow fine. It's eating the pastures. It's taking water. It's taking your resources, but it's not adding a kilo. So why don't you just continue with the cattle, but bring in a business mindset?
Very good. Now, let's look at this broadly in trying to understand why you specifically went into Karamoja. Just try to explain to us what we lose as a country if Karamoja stays where it has always been and does not move with the rest of the country.
You know, society is an interesting thing. It's more like a glass of water. It must always level out. The moment there is a bit of imbalance in neighboring societies, there is a way the thing will tend to sieve in until it creates equilibrium. And that's why the rest of the Western world is bothered about what's happening in our part of the world.
Yes.
Similarly, we as Ugandans need to be concerned about what's happening in our neighborhood of Karamoja. One, Karamoja is resourced. Apart from the human resources, they have got non-human resources that can develop this country. The mineral storage is known. Other natural endowments of the region, they are known. It's vast land capacity, it's also known. When you talk of drought also, it is a drought in terms of spread of rainfall. Rainfall pours in for 3 months and it's a flood. Can that be spread out? Can that be managed? And then you resolve the drought that afflicts that region? Those are things that can be done.
Good, good. Which brings me to the, the specific question on, the specific objectives that took you into Karamoja and whether you're beginning to see those coming to fruition. I know you've touched a couple here and there, but I mean, specifically, are you seeing that coming to light? What took you there?
The first thing when we went to Karamoja, we went with a cautious agenda. Karamoja was a bigger story for the British government when they said, Enterprise Uganda, you have done a great job in transforming households, including youth. But can your formula work in Karamoja? So we went there with an experiment which said, if these people are human and they can interpret a message they are given, this ought to work. So we went there first to demonstrate to the country that Karamoja and its occupants are as ordinary as any other human being. And that we are confirming. The second thing also wanted to just see this so-called impact of culture and whether culture is stagnant and cannot accommodate new ideas. Because everybody says, no, the culture of Karamoja, the culture of Karamoja. So went with that in mind and said, agreed. But where did culture come from? Wasn't it from repeated actions and repeated beliefs? Can we reconstruct repeated actions and reconstruct new beliefs? Not necessarily eliminating the old ones. Again, we discovered, yes, culture can be shaped.
Thank you very much, Charles.
Thank you very much.
Nice to talk to you.
Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
China, India, Brazil and South Africa have established the BRICS alliance, which is establishing a development bank parallel to the traditional IMF and World Bank. In Inside this week, we explore whether the global financial arena will become better with these new parallel forces.
Come 2016, the BRICS Bank will be established, composed by pooling funds between China, Russia, Brazil, India, and South Africa.
The BRICS account for 40% of the world population. They account for 20% of global economic output. That is quite significant, and it makes them a very strong bloc. In terms of the structure of the bank, I mean, 50 billion is the seed capital that has been outlined or put forward. They have also come up with what they call as a contingent reserve account of 100 billion, which essentially is to deal with countries that are in financial difficulties.
Is the BRICS arrangement parallel to the World Bank and IMF arrangement, previously known as Bretton Woods?
Some people have said, is it competing with the IMF? No, it's a complement to, and we will be working and partnering with this arrangement if it, endures.
So in that sense, I think it is important for us to have close communication with those regional bodies so that we can coordinate in a smooth manner in our operations.
So right from the start, the IMF is downplaying suggestions that BRICS is a competitor. In terms of influence, the IMF voting powers of the 188 countries is too dominated by the likes of the United States, and for some, BRICS should help hasten reforms in the IMF.
This may be a wake-up call for the IMF and the World Bank to speed up reforms, become more responsive to developing countries' needs. So that is a benefit that I see.
We have been working on the so-called quota reform. That is the attempt to change the voting power of member countries in order to respond to the changing economic strength of the member countries. But the reform is being delayed at this moment, unfortunately.
There's been some evolution of the IMF, for instance, in as far as developing countries are concerned, but more might have to be done.
I think the IMF's main accomplishment over the last 25 years from when I was in the bank to now is their recognition of the need to customize, that there's no size fits all, that every single country has a different package, a different weighting of needs.
Countries will have a choice to choose between where to go with respect to the different programs, with respect to the friendliness, quick, efficient implementation structures that will come along.
We shall have to watch and see how this new dynamic plays out in the global financial and economic arena.
In Make Money this week, we look at how if you are a restaurant owner, you can take your food business to the next level through franchising. We delve into what goes into establishing a franchise as well as the competitive advantage it could present to your business over others.
Are you a restaurant or eatery owner with ambitions of seeing your business grow? If the answer is yes, then you may want to consider venturing into the world of franchises. But just for the sake of clarity, what is a franchise?
A franchise is basically where you get what would be like rights or patent rights to use someone's name or someone's logo in your business. If you take examples like McDonald's, they usually give franchises to people who have the ability to run them on their behalf. What makes the franchise stand out is that you work in accordance to the parent company, what they expect, because there are standard issues that have to be kept in consideration.
Which brings us to the next point of what tangible benefits your business will actually accrue from franchising.
One of the reasons why you'd go in for a franchise, the establishment becomes cheaper because you simply get the right person, tell them the standards you're looking for, they put in the money, you equally get money in a way that they pay for their loyalties. So that would be one of the cheapest ways of expanding.
However, even with these benefits at play, this is not to suggest that it's an open invite. Like any other business, the aspect of a competent human resource cannot be ignored.
But at the same time, the way you choose the people you're going to give your franchises matter. Because of the standard issues, If you give your franchise to someone who is not as good as you are, then you lose the reputation. If you get the wrong person, you lose the brand. And the wrong person, he may have the finances, but does he have the passion for the business?
Many businesses strive to gain and remain visible in the minds of their clients, and because of the nature of how franchises work, this is something that happens naturally.
But it also increases awareness of your brand. Because look at a situation where you have very many outlets. The best example I would think about would be Chicken Tonight. You almost see it in every corner. But what are the chances that you'd have the financial muscle to go on opening in those different areas? So if you sell your franchises, the visibility is high, it becomes quite reputable on your side.
And above all, the issues of money and management are well taken care of under franchises.
You get the capital base is there because someone is going to inject in because of the loyalties. Secondly, you get experts. Because at times, many times as SMEs, we start the businesses, but at times the businesses get bigger than what we think. So with a franchise, you get chance to incorporate people who have the skills to help you run your business, even in a better way.
Changing the way we do agriculture, most observers feel, is critical for optimizing the country's potential. For this, some assert that attracting the educated towards the sector is key. Julie Nakalanda Matovu is a master's degree holder in agriculture and has since retreated to her organic farm, which she describes as a social enterprise.
It is believed that a greater percentage of the hitherto knowledgeable Ugandans are yet to retreat back to the farms and engage in agribusiness.
My name is Julie Nakalanda Matovu. I'm a farmer. That's what I pride to call myself, but I'm a trained agriculturalist. I would call myself an agroecologist right now because I've just graduated with my MS Agroecology at Uganda Matters University in 2012.
But how exactly did Julie Nakalanda collect interest in such a social enterprise, which she insists should be in everybody's attitude?
I hail from a farming background. My family is farming. We are a farm in the middle of the city. This is what has taken me to school. It's what has raised my fees. So I look at it as a form of sustainable way of living. And then I've studied it.
Nakalanda says the participatory guarantee system that she has since initiated at Gomba in Wakiso district is changing many lives of women groups here.
For my master's thesis, I did my research in PGS. PGS means participatory guarantee system, a form of system where farmers work together within the same geographical location and they have the same values. What the certification body would have done, it is done internally. Then you agree to work towards a certain standard. We work towards the East African Organic Standard, which is the official mark in the region.
Organic agriculture is a form of farming that she is practicing on this farm. She says that key is to ensure that everyone interested understand that it begins with soil management.
So in organic agriculture, we believe in composting the soil. The biggest manpower we have on organic farms are the earthworms. Someone may say, I have 5 employees or 1 employee or it's family labor, but they forget to count the millions of earthworms that are doing the real job, the dirty job. They eat the dirty stuff and they bring out what we need, then they feed, they nourish the crops.
Beyond trainings and other activities on Nakalanda's farm are the growing of high-value fruits and vegetables as well as fish ponds.
We sustain our family through the production here. It's a mixed farming system, like what is common in this region. We have bananas, we have trees, we have fodder for our animals, we have maize, we have yams, we have yellow yams, obukopa, things that are not very common. We have coyote. Coyote is in Susut, people may not know it. We have jovial.
She speaks with confidence and pride at her success of these and other agriculture-related ventures that she is currently engaged in.
I bought land somewhere there, my car. These are things I bought from the consultancies I get when I train people. So to me, farming is my existence. When I tell you it paid my school fees, now it's bringing food on my table. It's something I really believe in.
Nakalanda has a vision. She is looking forward towards the development of an ecotourism facility within this peri-urban farming system.
I've just returned from Turkey, but the best thing we have as Uganda is our natural ecological system. I believe Uganda is the source of tropical life. And if we cut our trees, if we are not going to manage our soils well, if you're not going to do things right, we are going to lose it all.
Let's now take a look at the equity markets. Many thanks for joining us on this week's edition of Money Matters. Do join us next week, same time, same place. Also remember, we want to hear from you, so drop us an email or get into our Facebook page and we'll get back to you. Till next week, bye-bye.